Okay. Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Alexander with the Ravenswood Academy, and joining me today is Melody.
Hi.
Thanks for joining. You know, I don't know if you noticed. You may not have even noticed, but I really like playing cards. I like shuffling them, I like moving them, I like making them dance. And you know, this is really important, everyone. I really want you to hone in on this. People just aren't shuffling cards the way they used to. The old ways have been forgotten. And I think we need to go back in time a few years and introduce Melody, who is a relatively new cardist. How long have you been doing card flourishing?
I've been doing card flourishing for about 3 or 4 months now.
Respectable. So, in order for the old ways and roots not to be lost, we are going to show Melody an ancient relic from the past, which is really only about, I'd have to look it up. I'm not exactly sure when this first came on the market and when it got taken off. I think it got taken off the market maybe something like 5 years ago, but I could be wrong. Which a lot happens in 5 years in card flourishing or cardistry. A lot can be developed, the moves can change, etc. So, for someone just coming in, they might miss one of those older waves. So we're gonna see what you have to think about this. I'm curious.
Okay.
All right. It's not a frog or anything, I promise. Close your eyes.
All right.
Hold out your hand. Are you ready?
Wait, should it be this hand, my
Yes.
left hand?
Oh,
for...
see? Someone's been paying attention in class. Are you ready?
Sure. Oh, that is heavy.
All right, you may open them.
Okay. All right.
Thoughts, comments, snide remarks, money?
So heavy. I'm expecting these to be like metal cards. Like it's just feels dense. But it kind of reminds me of a leather packaging around some blue Jadot cards that I have. From Fine Playing Cards from the Ravenswood Academy.
Whoa, I think we're going to hear from our sponsor, not Raid Shadow Legends, towards the middle of this video, but all right.
So it kind of reminds me of that. I mean, it's obviously very different, but it kind of reminds me of that case. But it definitely, with all the scratches and things, it does look like it's seen some time go by.
All right. We're not archaeologists here. Pop them open. Let's see what's going on.
Oh, I might have been correct.
You were. It's been a long time since I've pulled these out,
Oh,
ladies and gents, so we'll see what happens.
Okay. There we go. Okay. So this first one, first of all, there's some sort of residue from, I think maybe
it's like
from the
corrosion, basically.
corrosion,
yeah.
some sort of patina.
Because it's what metal? What type of metal? Would all the metallurgists watching in the video please comment in the comments below? What kind of metal do you think this is? Hint: it's not adamantium.
So there's like sort of mirrored D's on this first one.
What does that stand for?
Drunk driving.
No! Dan and Dave,
Okay.
the godfathers of cardistry, the twins, if you will, whom I got to bump into at CardistryCon 2019. Very nice guys. Go check them out. Of course, you know, you have to know your roots here. Come on, guys.
And there's nothing on the other side. And then others. These two are stuck together. Okay.
So this was a product offered on Dan and Dave's site. Again, when it first popped up, I'm not sure. Made out of stunning brass sheets, solid brass sheets, about 5 of them in the shape of playing cards. So there were these things called trainers, where they were like these. We talked about this before?
No, but I'm starting to put together what these might have been used for.
Yeah, they were trainers. They were like kind of these plastic. People were making them out of all sorts of things, plastic or wood or whatever. And, you know, the idea was that it would make you better at card flourishing, but everyone who had already learned card flourishing up to that point was like, well, we learned card flourishing or cardistry without trainers, so why does this exist? And they're kind of just sort of fun toys. You can do cuts with them, but there are things you can't do with them. You can't do springs, you can't really do fans, so it kind of limits you, but it's very fun to play with. So, with that in mind, let's see a Charlier cut.
Okay. So okay.
Oh, she did it!
Okay.
Good job. There's no, unless you're here, there's really no way to describe the weight you feel, right?
Yeah.
It looks like no big deal on the camera, but the actual weight of these things, it's pressing down your fingers.
It is.
And then when you go back to a real deck of cards, you're like, oh, this is nothing.
I'm sure.
So will this scientifically improve your card flourishing? I don't know. What do you think?
Well, it has. So I guess because, like, so do people still make trainers or use trainers?
It's kind of weird because people still do offer them on their site and everything, but they're not as big, of course, as actual playing cards, because playing cards give you more of an option if you're card flourisher. But people still like them, and you can make them however you want.
Try it on the one finger.
Oh,
that was a mistake.
Dude, it's just so heavy.
Yeah.
The weight, right?
Sorry, I interrupted.
No, go ahead. Try 5 Faces of Sybil.
Okay.
The classic.
I was trying to think about
Thank you, Chris Kinner.
I'm trying to think ahead of how many I need.
Yeah, you got it right.
Or no, I would need these two.
Good thought there. She's been going for like 4 months and doing great. She can, obviously she can do way better with an actual deck of cards, but here it's kind of like, oh my gosh, and she's actually doing it. I'm impressed. These are crazy to get used to.
Come on, go around.
Right.
Hang on.
You can break. But like I said, I think they were taken off the site years ago, and there was just I imagine there was such a small market for them. You have to get people who actually flourish with cards, which is already a small market, and then people who want to do it with brass plates, which is already pretty small.
Well, so.
May I? Go
yeah,
ahead.
Please.
Share.
Well, no, so.
Oh, it's been a while. Yeah. Go ahead.
Clang, clang, clang. So the idea of trainers in general, though, because if they really work, then do a lot of people then you would think a lot of cardists would use them. So, and you said these have been around for a little bit now. So has time borne out just based on people buying them? Like, do they work and there's demand for them, or is it sort of maybe in the eye of the beholder? Like, for some people it does, for some people it doesn't.
Okay, so this is the part where the YouTuber is like, oh guys, I want to know your thoughts. Let me generate some comments and some buzz. Let me know what you think in the comments below. But in all seriousness, I actually do want to know what your consensus is, because I have no way of psychically knowing the hive mind of what every cardist out there thinks. So if someone's out there and is like, oh, these really did help me with get better card flourishing, let me know, even if they weren't metal trainers. Or if you think it's baloney and it's just kind of a fun toy to have, let me know. Because when I bought this, I already knew card flourishing, so I wasn't trying to get better per se. I was just trying to, oh my goodness, yeah, that's tough. I was just trying to have fun. I thought they were pretty, because when you first get them, they're kind of polished, right? And then now they've kind of patinaed over time or whatever. So trainers, if you had the opportunity to buy one, would you? Even if it was a different material. What do you think? Yay or nay?
I think for me, because just starting out learning.
They're heavy, dude.
Yeah. I think because, like you said, there are a bunch of things that you can't do with them. Because, one of the things I am working on right now is the spring. And so for me, I'm kind of well then why would I get these, you know, if I can't, if the stuff that I'm really focusing on right now, I can't do with these.
Sure. And I think maybe for someone who likes to, again, let me know in the comments, because there might be a market for people who like to create their own flourishes. So if you have to create your own moves, this kind of forces you to play with cuts. So you could, this might give you some sort of feedback or an idea, whereas a bunch of loose cards might not. But for me, they're just kind of this fun little beautiful thing, and they're, it's a fun thing because you're used to all of these moves feeling a certain way.
Yeah.
And then you go and you do it with a metal plate, and it feels entirely different. And they actually made them nice. Now, there's a little bit of residue feeling from the, I don't know, what that's from, if that's moisture or whatever. But aside from the stickiness, they really feel smooth. All the edges are rounded, right? So they're not biting into your hands.
And I can see for these, like, if you know, if I did have like a bit more you know, knowledge and was looking for maybe maybe if I like, especially if I hit a slow point and wanted a challenge.
Right.
Because I think for right now,
something different for feedback.
Yeah, and I think for right now it's challenging enough for me still learning.
Right.
That, you know, adding this on is just like, oh, you know, and you know, maybe if some like somebody who was showing it to me was like, no, you must use these to build up your strength, I'd be like, no, I'm done. Like, you know, this is,
I quit.
Maybe too much too soon.
Yeah. Yeah, probably, you're probably exactly right. If you're at a certain point, it's probably perfect, and then if you're at a different point, no. But if you just started in card flourishing and you want to pick up some trainers, you know, there you could probably just search Cardistry trainers, and there's all sorts of different colors. So if you want to give them a try, don't feel like you can't. It's just, don't buy them, I guess, with the illusion that they're going to make you like a master card flourisher the next day. They're just, I think the name is kind of weird, Cardistry trainers. I think it should have been named something different, because it kind of gives you the impression that you're doing training, when really it's kind of like a focused toy within card flourishing. You know, it's for like when you want a different feel. I'm not sure that's necessarily training you. I think maybe the people who named it that were, maybe they had the idea that like it was easier to do something like the Charlier without dropping a bunch of cards, because they have non-heavy versions of this, obviously. So yeah, I like the brass, I like the color, the aesthetic, very nice. Final thoughts. What rating? I need to wipe them all. It's been so long.
Well, and just one last thought, like, you know, because I was trying to plan, like, with 5 Faces of Sybil, like, okay, I have 5 of these.
Only true cardists will understand what she's talking about.
Well, so I have 5 of these, so I had to, and I'm like, okay, well, there's 5 Faces of Sybil, so I need to figure out, like, how to get each one into the place that I need it. And so I was like, you know, heaven help you if you're doing some sort of cut or other, you know, move that would require, you know, more than 5 packets
okay,
during the course of the...
That's actually a really good point, because there's, so for example, there's this one cut by Jaspa's. I can't remember what it's called, actually. I'm supposed to have another packet here. It's like a 6-packet thing. You can't do it. So that's another way it's limited. There's a lot of limitations. So you can't dribble. You can't do any pressure moves. You can't do a ball spread. You can't spring. You can't fan, really. And then if your cut has like 6 packets or more, and now they make some of them that are thinner, they have 6 or 7 packets, you're kind of limited as to what you can do. Dude, I know there was a company that made these, but they were like acrylic, and they were neon colors, like all neon green or all neon red, and they would like shine really pretty in the black light. It was kind of cool. But again, they're probably for someone who just wants a specialized feel and is okay with that kind of feedback.
I mean, it also kind of...
They're heavy.
They're heavy and loud.
Don't ever, you're in danger of dropping them on your foot if you shuffle.
Yeah. But yeah, and... So yeah, they're definitely very...
I watched that.
Yeah, right? You don't have as much there to work with.
Or I'm not as good. But anyway, yeah, that's just a fun little relic I thought we'd pull out. And this just doesn't exist anymore. I don't think anyone's making metal trainers anymore because they're so expensive. They're expensive to mill, they're expensive to ship because the shipping weight is so big. And then it's such a niche market already, I'm not sure that people are gobbling them up. So it's kind of one of those, in a way, I feel like it's a weird experimental phase of card flourishing because card flourishing in a way is still so young. People are still trying to figure out what's good for it, what direction it should go. Companies are trying to figure out what they can sell. So just a nice little beautiful product from Dan and Dave. Very fun to pull out and play with. So thanks for giving us your thoughts.
Yeah.
I'm going to be trying to put out more videos as we go. And so if you'd like to tune into those, there'll be a variety of topics. But as far as these, let me know what you think in the comments. I do really want to see what other card flourishers are saying about trainers. So yeah, thanks so much, and we'll see you next time. Let's do it. Let's take these bad boys for a spin. I'm shuffling out in the snow. DeVoe would be proud. That's another name for all you old school cardists out there. Come on, let's take a look. We interrupt this video. Wait, the camera's over there. We interrupt this video for a word from our sponsors, Jadot Playing Cards. What are Jadot Playing Cards, you ask? Only the finest. Head over to theravenswoodacademy.com and pick up yours today. Okay, well, this isn't gonna work. I know what we'll do. We'll do it out in the snow. It'll be all cinematic and flourishing. Oh, the water is making them stick together. All right. This is just more proof that water is the cardist's natural enemy. Golly, did you hear that?